Okay, so next we're gonna learn how to animate changes in scale or rotation. So we've done position and we did a blur effect, but now we're gonna do rotation and scale. And these changes are made with the free transform tool or with the transform panel. So we'll be adding the third car to the project, and the car will start small and then become larger as it appears to move forward towards the viewer. So we're going to lock all the layers. I think we could just click that and it should lock everything up. And then we're going to insert a new layer inside the car folder. So where's that car folder? I think we can just click on the layer and then do new layer. Oh, I guess I'll just drag it in. It didn't insert it into the folder like I thought it might. And then we'll double click on that layer and we'll name it left car underscore car. So we're not putting spaces in these names. We're using underscores. And then we'll make sure we're on this, and then we're going to select frame 75. And insert a new keyframe. You can do F6 if you have that on your keyboard. I don't have it, so I have to do this. So we put a keyframe in there on frame 75. Looks like we're on 75. And then we're going to drag the movie clip symbol called left car from the library panel to the stage on this frame 75. So I think we do have it selected. So we'll go to the library, left car, let's see here. Yeah, actually it's called car left, so I don't think it's this one. It's got to be, I think it's this one. So we'll just drag that onto the stage. And then we'll go to the free transform tool here. I kind of have this, I don't know, this is a little bit, can't see all of my tools here. I think this is the free transform tool right here. So we'll select that, and then we can see these handles basically that appear around this car instance on our stage. And while holding down the shift key, drag a corner inward to make the car smaller. And in the properties panel, make sure the width of the graphic is about 400 pixels. So we're going to push shift, grab a corner. Let's make sure our properties panel is open so we can see how wide it is. And the width needs to be 400, around 400. I don't know, that's probably close enough. I'm not going to worry about it too much. And we can open up the transform panel. So it'd be window, transform, and we can change the scale of the car here to about 29.4%. I think you could do it right here maybe, but I'm not going to do it that way. I'm actually going to close out of this by Xing on that. So move the car to its starting position. At the X should be about 710 and the Y should be 488. So we're going to, let's just change it. 710 and then 488, enter. So I'm just going to push enter on these just to make sure. So I think it starts there. And in the properties panel, in the color effects section, choose the alpha from the style menu. So alpha, and we're going to set the value to 0. right here. So it's going to come in, you know, completely transparent, and then it'll probably fade in. And so we'll choose Create Motion Tween from the button above the timeline. So I haven't used that yet. I wonder if I can, let's see here just a second. Okay, we can click on this and do it. There's a drop down if you hold it down, and then just do Create Motion Tween. I hope that worked. And so that current layer should become a tween layer now. And then we'll move the playhead to 100 frame, or frame 100. And then we are going to change the alpha value of this now at frame 100 to 100 now. So did that work? Let's see. I think it did, because it's fading in. Okay. While holding down the Shift key, drag a corner handle outward to make the car larger. So we're still on, make sure we're clicking on that, but we're on 100, the frame 100. We need to have it highlighted too. And then I think this is where we make the car bigger. So the width of the car should be about 1380. So we need to go Properties, maybe Object, Shift, and the width should be 13. How come that's not changing? I think I need to use the transform tool here. I don't know. Maybe I grabbed the wrong thing there. 14. To go up pretty large actually to get up to 1480. Excuse me. Something like that's pretty good. It's kind of weird because it doesn't show you as your, that's got to be good enough. And then so the X value and the Y value should be 607 for X, 607, and Y should be 545, and then just push return. So that's that. I guess I'll push return on this just to make sure, but I think that's that. So we've tweened the change in position and the change in scale, as well as the change in transparency from frame 75 to frame 100. So if we go back, that's kind of coming in, getting larger. I don't think it's supposed to be ahead of these other ones, but maybe we'll change that. Move left car layer in between middle car and right car layers. So that'll probably fix what I was just talking about. So we'll just grab this and drag it down. So that did fix it. So that looks pretty good. And then we'll save our progress so far. So File, Save. So we're going to actually move the animation of all three cars, and we're going to move them so they're centered on the stage. So we're going to want to lock all the layers. I'm just going to go ahead and just push this, and then I'll unlock these individually. So we just want everything in the car folder to be unlocked and everything else to be locked. Which looks like that's what I have here. Kind of feel like maybe I need to make my window just a little bit bigger so I can see. There we go, that's better. Okay. Select and hold the Edit Multiple option above the timeline. and choose all frames. So we want to be on the cars folder, I think. I think the multiple frames option is right here. So select and hold this and choose all frames. Brackets will appear on the timeline, which I think is this stuff up here, indicating the span of frames that will be editable. The all frames option automatically puts the brackets at the beginning and the end to encompass all frames of the timeline. Choose a selected range if you want to select only a span of frames with the selected range option that's underneath this, but we didn't want to do that. We want to do all frames. And then you can move the beginning or end bracket. Choose edit, select all. So we'll go up here, edit, select all. All the frames and the layers of the cars folder should become selected. While holding down the Shift key, drag the selected group of cars to the left of the stage and move the group so they are generally centered on the stage. So we're going to hold the Shift key down and we're just going to move it so that they're centered on the stage. I think that that's probably pretty good. I'm not totally sure because I can't see him. I guess I could move my... Well, I don't want to do anything to mess it up here. So you are actually moving multiple instances and multiple keyframes across all 3 layers at the same time. So if we take a look at this, it did move them. It moved them over to more of the center of the stage. This car was kind of hanging off the edge there. I could have probably brought him over to the left a little bit more, but I'm not going to worry too much about that. So now they're kind of in the center of the stage. So if we click on left car, we can see this line here, which shows kind of the path of motion. I think even right car probably has a little bit of it too. I'll cancel all of that. So we're going to actually go into another file and kind of mess around with changing the path of motion in the next video.